The vessel body and lid are now perfectly joined. The vessel must now be lowered. Then expose the stirring blades and electrodes. Now prepare to lower the reactor vessel. First, loosen the screws. Ensure all screws are fully loosened. Then proceed without jamming. Confirm that all inlet and outlet connections for thermal, water, and thermal oil pipelines are fully loosened. Ensure pipelines do not come into contact with surrounding structures or become clamped. Allow sufficient clearance for downward movement. Now begin turning the hand wheel, lowering the vessel body. Turn the hand wheel anti-clockwise to lower the vessel. When lowering, ensure this lead screw is adjusted to the appropriate position. By the same token, ascending corresponds to clockwise rotation. The vessel began to rise. This state indicates that it has risen to its designated position. The hand wheel will not turn any further. Do not apply excessive force. Now reposition the screw. Tighten clockwise. All screws on the vessel body and vessel cover must be fully tightened. If it is too loose or cannot withstand pressure, it can be tightened using a spanner. The wheel is currently in a movable state and can be pushed. Now we want to lock the wheels. Let it cease moving. The wheel is now locked solid and cannot be pushed. Now return the wheel to its operational state. It has now returned to its position, so the wheel can be moved. Calibration to 100% dissolved oxygen in air. It is also similar to the value mentioned earlier. Calibrate the air. It has now recovered to 97% of the previous calibration level. Then observe this value stabilizing. Follow the steps indicated on the right. Observe this value stabilizing at 98%, approaching 100%. Then click Start Calibration. Finally, click Complete Calibration. Now perform zero calibration on the dissolved oxygen electrode. There is no need to remove the electrode. Immerse it in a solution of saturated sodium sulfite or cola. Ensure the electrode does not touch the sides of the container. The dissolved oxygen calibration interface corresponds to the dissolved oxygen zero calibration level within the parameter. Settings interface observe the dissolved oxygen signal. The normal trend for this value is a continuous decline. As we are using cola on site. If the client has the facilities available, they may opt for anhydrous saturated sodium sulfite solution, or the electrode signal. Observing the electrode signal. It is now at 5%. Observing the dissolved oxygen signal value when stabilized near a value close to 0. Follow these operational steps. Then press Start Calibration. The signal will become 0. Correction complete. Return. Currently performing pH calibration, 2-point calibration. First, locate the signal on the main interface and calibrate. Then click pH calibration. Confirm all motor statuses are satisfactory. The current gearbox status and motor status are both correct. All 4 squares in this section must be green. Then, prior to calibration, it is essential to follow the calibration steps outlined on the right. The calibration status is normal. Next, the user level must be switched to level 1. Prepare 2 standard buffer solutions. We are currently preparing 4.0 and 9.18. Place the electrode into standard solution 1. Switch to level 1. Upon completion, the interface will prompt the user that the level is set to level 1. Now input the calibration data for the first point, 4.0. As the room temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, apply the temperature compensation. The current buffer solution pH value is easily adjusted to 4.01. The second point is 9.18. Input complete, ready to commence calibration by clicking the C calibration button. It will display the data for calibration points 1 and 2 along with the current date and time. If all is in order, proceed by clicking Confirm. Press Next. Should the calibration point buffer solution 4.01 be placed into the electrode? The process value is currently 9.13, so we have not yet released it at this stage. There is no need to dismantle the electrodes. Simply separate the electrode vessel from its lid. Then expose the electrode and place it in the buffer solution, ensuring the motor does not touch the inner wall. Allow the electrode to react fully with the buffer solution. Observe the touchscreen data. The current calibrated process value is 3.97, whilst the target value is 4.01. As this motor is brand new straight from the factory, therefore the deviation in value is not significant. Carefully observe the trend of the values. Note the calibration process value in the top left corner. It is currently 3.9724 with a relatively high degree of precision. One can observe that its trend is moving upwards. Once it has stabilized sufficiently, one may click Stabilized. We are now essentially stabilized at 3.97, and we consider it to be stabilized at this point. Click Stabilized. Then click Next. Place the electrode in the 9.18 buffer solution. During the alternation between the 2 buffer solutions, ensure the electrode is thoroughly cleaned. Clean thoroughly with distilled water or purified water, ensuring the electrode sensor head remains free from contamination. Let us examine the cleaning process. After thorough cleaning, it is advisable to wipe the electrode surface with a damp paper towel. As the electrode is currently calibrated, the readings are abnormal. Therefore, the alarm issue may be disregarded for the time being. Then place the electrode back into the 9.18 buffer solution. The electrode is now immersed in the 9.18 buffer solution. Awaiting stabilization, return to the main touchscreen interface. Observe that the current calibration value is 8.94. And once it has stabilized, tap Stabilized. Now stabilized at 8.99. We consider the value to be sound as clicks have stabilized. Then proceed to the next step. This interface verifies whether the calibrated data for the current electrode is correct. Click Confirm Check to proceed. Once the values are confirmed to be correct, click Next to confirm saving and calibration. Then cancel the calibration. At this point, if the data is deemed abnormal, you may cancel repeat the process. This time, we shall click Confirm to save and conclude the calibration. Check after pH calibration. Its data is currently being written. This time, we shall click Confirm to save and conclude the calibration.